Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us on the phone this morning, it must be that time of year again. Kent McInnis back on the phone, talking some last escapability kid, old Lincoln days. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
Hi, Mike.
Doing great. It's good talking to you again. How's life in the mountains this morning?
Oh, it's cooler than where you're at, I think.
Yeah, cooler and more pleasant, and yeah, pretty much every box that's better, it checks up there.
Yeah. What do they always say? Don't hate me because you ain't me.
That's right.
Is that what it is? No, it's nice up here, man. We're still pumping 85, 90 degrees, but shoot, that's real minor compared to some of the places around here.
Well, and there's so many trees and so much shade. So, you're 85 and then you go sit in shade because you have some. And it's about 10 degrees cooler. Real nice in there. So
yeah, just go sit in the river.
There you go. Do you have a river? Is there a river?
Do. Well, they say a river.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know how the water was doing up there, or with drought conditions, if it was more like a stream or a.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Yeah. No doubt.
But
I seen where the Rio Grande run dry. Did you see that?
I did see that.
In Albuquerque.
Pretty scary, isn't it?
That is crazy, man.
Well, hopefully you get some more rain soon. There's a lot of talk in our forecast. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I hope so too.
Well, we want to put this on people's calendars here. If you've never been before, make this your first one. If you have come out before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every year, around the first weekend of August, the village of Lincoln, New Mexico, opens up to the world. Well, they do every weekend, but for this particular weekend, for Old Lincoln Days and the Last Escapability Kid pageant, it's a 3-day fun festival of celebrating all things Lincoln. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
Oh, that's exactly what it is. It was first brought in as a quattrocentennial celebration, and there were towns all over the state did something. But Lincoln has a little jewel inside of it with the history of Billy the Kid, and everyone in the world knows about him.
Oh yeah.
So this thing was a big hit. So they went ahead and just made it a yearly festival, and this will be our 81st year, and it just turns a little town of 80 or 100 people into
thousands come through.
Big. Yeah, it looked like a city in there, during the weekend, which is good. There's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of living history demonstrations, parade at 11 on Sunday, and then of course our show Friday, Saturday night, and then the matinee on Sunday.
Yeah, there's so much, lots of fun stuff to do all 3 days. But the highlight, the Piece de la Resistance, the grand event that's part of the Old Lincoln Days, is the Last Escapability Kid pageant. There are 3 performances. There's a Friday night performance, a Saturday night performance, and then a Sunday afternoon performance. And it's there. And all those performances will be on what's called the Pageant Grounds, which, if you've ever been to Lincoln, New Mexico, it's not real hard to get lost because it's just one road there and it's all. But if you get lost there, I'm more impressed than surprised. But
yeah, well, if you get lost there, don't use Google Maps because you don't have internet service. That isn't going to help you.
And that might be a little advanced for you, to be honest, if you can't. But But anyway, the Pageant Grounds are right there next to the courthouse, and they got parking and everything right there. And this performance is basically a reenactment of Billy the Kid's escape from the courthouse there, and it's the actual. This is the part that I love about it. The actual pageant itself is almost as historic as the story they're telling. You know what I mean? That's I love
Absolutely.
that part. I mean, obviously it's not because it's talking about but the people that originally wrote the script for this were people that called Lincoln home during the time of the Lincoln County War. So, and they've been following the same script for generations now. And it's really, to me, that's as cool as the actual performance itself.
Yeah, no doubt. The script was written by some of the actual, descendants or members of the regulators and people that lived there during the Lincoln County War. The actual pageant grounds was donated to the pageant by one of the co's. So that's how tight of a connection, there is with the pageant.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. But each year, these folks do an amazing job of recreating that, and it's a lot of fun. It's a Western right in front of you. The guns blazing, the whole kit and caboodle, and as you tell the story of how Billy the Kid got out of the courthouse there and talking about just kind of giving everyone a history of the Lincoln County War and what's going on there with Billy, and why to this day that man is still a part of our history and part of our you think about it. You think about life in general, and a young man who lived in this time and did these things, and here we are, 200 years later, almost 200 years later, talking about him and wanting to learn more about him, and to be honest, people spending their life's work still trying to dig up more on this man. That says something, doesn't it? And it's kind of neat to, that's cool.
No, definitely. And he's like he's such a legend, and it's constantly new things are being turned. You've seen the croquet thing that come out a year or two. So there's constantly things that just keep coming up. I mean, we're probably going to go 100 years and they're still going to be finding stuff about this guy. And it's really, if you look at tourism draw, Billy the Kid has really put New Mexico on a map as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows about the kid, and if they're close enough to come to Lincoln, they're going to make the trip. It's a fantastic town. I mean, it's one street, and we're on the west end of Lincoln, next to the original courthouse where he made his escape. Excuse me, and he's just made it into a fantastic tourism attraction for New Mexico. And not to discredit anything else going on, but this guy really is well known. I mean, you throw in a little Young Guns and stuff, and it just blows it right up. And the original pageant, instead of doing it at this set, they went to each location in town.
Oh, cool!
And shut the town off and did the scene right there.
Yeah, that's cool. I would have loved to have seen one of those. For folks that don't know, when we talk about, and this is where when you come out here either August 5th, 6th, or 7th, or all 3 days, when you come out and you get to really get into the different buildings and the different aspects of the town of Lincoln there, you really get to see, because a lot of the buildings and stuff are of period. There's some more, but there's quite a few structures there in downtown Lincoln there, the main part of Lincoln. These were buildings that were there during the Lincoln County War. Many things happened. It was, for a week there during the war, there was pretty much factions held up at various buildings inside that town. And a lot of people just think of Young Guns and the courthouse, and I was like, no, it was a city under siege for a week, and certain aspects were living in one, certain stores or buildings, and others were in others, and pot shots and everything going on all week. It's much bigger than just Billy the Kid, and he was just a very big piece in that cog. But
yeah, he's the draw, no doubt. And you know what, a lot of people don't understand. They say, well, he's an outlaw and he essentially killed police, and totally different time frame.
Sure.
I mean, when you look at that, the kid was actually, and the regulators were actually constable.
Yeah.
So they were actually deputized when a lot of this went on. So they were the police.
Yeah.
At a certain amount of time.
And it's kind of one of those things where everybody was police. You know what I mean? They were, the states, certain factions were deputized in this group, the others deputized in this group. It really got muddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and it's you look at today's, how things go on today, and then you look at how things went on then as far as judicial system and how they handled stuff.
Sure.
Totally different ball of wax. I mean, it's apples and oranges like you wouldn't believe.
I've been telling folks this because I've actually done it, and You look at New Mexico in its current state and the political climate, the world, how New Mexico is run, and you
Right.
kind of scratch your head and wonder. It's like, why do they do things this way and all that? I'm telling you, you wanna get an understanding of why New Mexico's New Mexico. Just spend the day in Lincoln, New Mexico, and read everything. Read everything in the courthouse.
Sure.
Read everything in the visitor center. Read everything in the buildings in between, and just read the placards. Read the stories of the people. Read the
Sure.
different tales that each are telling, and they're talking about various people throughout Lincoln, but New Mexico's history. And things are so convoluted the way things were done and contracts are made and I mean, it was so good old boy run
Yeah.
that no wonder New Mexico it is here in 2022. And I think if you
Sure.
just read everything in Lincoln, you'd have a clear understanding why New Mexico's New Mexico.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt. And you
Yeah.
know, if you want to really dig into stuff like that, just research and look at what was called the Santa Fe Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's gonna, and a lot of people say, I mean, I don't know enough deep into the politics right now, but a lot of people say that, you know, the Santa Fe Rings still has their teeth in the grip of New Mexico politics.
I would not be surprised
I mean,
at all. I would not be
yeah.
surprised if there was
And
some
that
faction.
played a big part. You know, that was a whole faction that was against, you know, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they controlled everything from the local law to the state law to being partners with the military. And I mean, it was a tough. It was kind of Big Daddy over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, to me, that's the part I love. But for everyone else, I hope you guys come out and learn some of that. But really, come out, bring the whole family, and enjoy the actual pageant grounds and the actual pageant itself. Friday night performance will be 8:30. Saturday night performance will be 8:30, and then a Sunday matinee at 3:00. Now, don't show up at 8:30 because there's stuff, lots of other stuff going on. Of course, one of the big concerts will be Michael Martin Murphey Friday night. He's going to be performing there before the pageant, right?
Yeah, and that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at, you know, someone who had some big hits at one time, but kind of pulled himself back and made New Mexico kind of his home, and northern New Mexico, Red River and stuff. But he loves Lincoln and he loves the pageant grounds. And he's held a concert there already this summer. And now he's going to do a show for us on Friday night at 7. So be sure Friday night you get your ticket there at the gate through the day, and you can hear him. Now, tell me this, brother. You pay $10 an adult.
Yes.
The pageant is fantastic. It's done with footlights, spotlights, horses, wagons, guns.
It's worth more than the $10 admission fee.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so you do $10 for an adult there, but you also get with that $10 the Michael Martin Murphey concert. Now, tell me where you can get a Michael Martin Murphey concert for $10.
I don't even know if you can get a CD for $10.
Yeah. So, and then we have a concert before each show. 7:00 starts Saturday night, and that's a local band. And then Sunday 1:30, and that is also a local band.
So,
but there's stuff to do in Lincoln all day. I mean, the museums, you could be in the museums all day by itself.
Yeah, really everything beginning Friday at 9 a.m. It's kind of game on from there. And there's just stuff going on depending on what you're into. There's lots of stuff like at the San Jose Church there. They've got a bunch of different events and things, a lot of talks and a lot of different demonstrations, stuff like that. They do, of course, the parade Sunday. It's really something every day is going on. But like you said, if you're a Michael Martin Murphey fan, then you probably want to get your tickets for the Friday night. Get there early for the concert, and then after the concert, mosey on into the pageant grounds there and enjoy the show. But if the pageant's more of a draw than Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, of course, you're going to get free live music part of your show either way. It's a great local, and I'm telling you, the local bands up there they're so good. I don't know. I don't know.
They are good.
I don't know if like a bunch of retired musicians just like to go and call like Alto, Ruidoso, Lincoln, Capitan, that area home.
Right.
But there's so many great just musicians that live up in that area, and they all love to get together and jam, and they put out some pretty good bands out there. But
oh yeah, no, they do.
Yeah.
In fact, if you heard me in the shower sing, you'd say, "Man, this guy ought to have his CD cut."
There you go.
And I truly believe that.
You know, maybe we could, that'd be your concert. We put a shower on the stage, and you do it all from the shower.
Hey, and I call this place home, so I fit right in, brother. Huh? You never know. If someone don't show up, they may find this hidden talent.
You never know. Someone grab a guitar and get up on stage.
There you go. Yeah, the guitar gets wet, though. So you got the shower going. You kind of got to use the shower head as the mic, and,
That's true, yeah. Well, the shampoo bottle
we
doesn't
won't
have
go
the
any further
amplification.
than that. No, it's going to be a good time, though, Mike. We look forward to seeing everybody, and it's kind of a family reunion. It's all 501c3, and it's local volunteers, and we get together one time a year, and it's like a family reunion. It really is. We all meet out there. We have a good time on the weekend, and we center the whole weekend on the shows. And
good deal.
It's kind of cool. Yep.
Trust me, you're going to love it. Lincoln is such a cool place. I loved it. I think I'm at a point where about once a year I try to get up there at least to go there and look. And I'm going to add another list of things you need to do during your day there. If you go and take advantage of this, you can. When you go tour the Lincoln County the courthouse and all of that, and that's where you buy your tickets from the National Park Service to see the courthouse and everything there. That's run by them. They offer a package deal where you can check out Lincoln and then go to Fort Sumter, right?
Fort Stanton.
Fort Stanton. Yeah. I'm sorry, did I say Sumter? I meant Stanton. Fort Stanton, right there as well. Too. And that is so cool because you get a little Billy the Kid history there, but you get everything from Civil War up to World War I and the history of that fort, and of course and they've done a beautiful job of kind of keeping the quartermaster buildings and the troops quarters and everything really up to get it. It really is a cool place to walk and stroll through and see, walk back in time and see, life in the military especially during like World War I era, the early 1900s. Yeah, it's really cool.
No, that's cool. Yeah, and it played a huge part with tuberculosis and stuff. There's a merchant marine cemetery out there because of the TB connection.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. But you have that, and then you have Smoky Bear 12 miles
over in
away.
Capitan.
So,
yeah, that's another thing to check out.
You can do a whole weekend.
Absolutely.
You can plan around the pageant, and you can do a whole weekend in Lincoln.
Absolutely.
And really cover.
So please come on out. Come whichever day. Like I said, if you're a Michael Martin Murphey fan, Friday's probably going to be your best day out at the old Lincoln days. But they've got performances all 3 days. August the 5th, Friday night, 8:30 p.m. August the 6th, Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. And then Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. on August the 7th. The concerts start at 7 each night, Friday night and Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon, the parade will start at 11. They'll do the concert there at 1. And then at 3 o'clock, they'll do the final pageant of the weekend there on Sunday.
Yep.
You can always get tickets at the door there. Is there any way to get advance tickets, or is it all just at the door?
With it being a volunteer-run group, it's so hard, Mike, to run a lot of websites and stuff. So what we do is we just make it where you can, purchase your tickets all 3 days at the gate, and that's kind of how we've had to do it, just because technology is great if you have someone to run it, but it's tough, when it's all volunteer, it's kind of a tough deal on that side.
I understand. Hey, if someone wants to actually pay in gold, they got someone who can do some ciphering?
Come see me. And I hope your math doesn't work out good, and that's to my advantage.
I just wonder if someone to cut off a piece of a gold bar and hand it to you while you go.
There you go. I'd take it.
Right,
believe me.
That stuff's valuable. It don't matter. I'll take it too.
Yeah.
I'll bite into it, but I'll take it.
That's right. There you go, brother.
Good
No
deal.
doubt.
Well, definitely, folks, come check it out. It's a lot of fun, and it's so much history, so much good times, just so much entertainment. I tell you, the whole family's going to love it. There's lots of things. The kids are going to love it because they can run around and play cowboys and do all that stuff. They come out and do all the when they're doing the blacksmithing and all that kind of stuff. The kids love all that kind of stuff. So come check it out.
And you know how neat it is, Mike, having all this right in our own backyard. I mean, one of the biggest Western outlaw or Western icons, period, that ever walked the earth in Billy the Kid.
It is. And here's the part I love. Like I've said, I try to go once a year at least and go check it out. And every time I go there, I learn something new or find something out new or learn something I didn't know the last time or saw something I didn't see the last time. I know. So I don't care if you've been there 100 times. Go again. There's always something new. That's the thing. Because I just love going there because I don't know. It's one of those things, and I bet you get like this too, Kent. Where you ever like just hang out in historical places, and it just has a different feeling. You know what I mean? Just like you sit there and you just feel like you're surrounded by an area that just like a lot happened. It's just different. And I get those feelings when I hang out in Lincoln. I always feel like, man.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic place. I mean, it's a jewel of the West. And if you haven't been there, or even if you have, you know what a jewel it is. But if you haven't, go check it out. I mean, it's incredible, and it's right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right in our yard. So, and get about 10, 15 degrees cooler and come see us.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great. You're going to love everything that you go out there and see and do and all that stuff. So, again, August, it's the first weekend of August, not this weekend, but next weekend, August 5th, 6th, and 7th. There in the town of Lincoln. Really, everything gets started 9 a.m. Friday and goes till about 4 after after that last performance at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And it just goes. Just go out there, find you a good spot to park, and just walk up and down and see everything that there is to do. You're going to go every 5 feet and see cool food and items and things for some of the vendor booths, but then get a chance to go into some of these historic places and do some shopping and support the locals too. They got some great little, if you love doing craft or antique shopping, there's some great little stores that are sprinkled in Lincoln there that you can kind of find some cool stuff too. So don't leave some space in the vehicle to bring some stuff home with you too. Just a tip.
Absolutely. And maybe my CD if I get one cut in time.
There you go. We can get is it called Tales from the Shampoo Bottle? What's the name of the
me and you will be thinking about that. How about that?
Good deal. Well, Ken, is there anything we wanted to share? Anything we got to talking and sidetracked on that we didn't get a chance to talk about or get out there?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, I think when you talk about Billy the Kid, I think you could go on for months.
That's the problem.
So we hit on some high points and we had fun like we always do, Mike. Me and you have a good time on the phone every time we talk. So the main point is, 501c3, 81st year.
Yeah.
And you don't see a folk pageant anywhere in the world like you do this. When the voices speak out of the voice box and the actors act, it's full of horses, guns, wagons, the whole bit. There's food vendors right there, so you won't go hungry. It's just a neat deal.
It is. It's really cool, and come see the history of New Mexico live and in action. That's really what it is, and to get it's a chance for you to step back in time a little bit, and every time you go to Lincoln, it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's just a cool place to go, and so for all you folks that were traveling to the ski-in or to the casino, then you just kind of breezed right through Lincoln. Stop, check it out, and see all the cool stuff there. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Good deal. Well, thank you, sir. As always, good talking to you. Of course, he'll be doing some Capitan football this year, so look for him on the radios here this fall for football season too. So.
There you go, brother. Absolutely, and it's always good talking to you, Mike. And I sure do appreciate all all the friendship that you've given us over the years through the pageant and everything. So thanks a bunch.
Anytime. And when that CD hits, remember us little people. Just saying.
That's right. Absolutely. You'll be first. You'll be first on my thoughts, brother. Believe me.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Well, take care, Kent. We'll see you next time, and hopefully we'll get to see you running around and about this next weekend up here. So.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Come say hi.
All right. Take care, Kent. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. That was Kent McInnis talking some old Lincoln days with us. I always enjoy talking that with him. It's one of my favorite events that happens every year is old Lincoln days there in the village of Lincoln. It is cool. I'm telling you, it is so cool. It's just, the whole Billy the Kid. I love going to the courthouse and going up there and seeing the bullet hole in the wall and seeing the markers where Sheriff Brady was shot and seeing and just reliving that history. And it, for me, it's because I loved the Young Gun movies as a kid. I remember watching them as a young teenager kind of, and I loved those stories. It was at that time, all those were big name, actors. The Sheens, and Emilio Estevez and all of that, and the Young Gun and Young Guns 2, and it was a very formative movie for my younger years, and I loved it. And then when I moved out here and stumbled upon Lincoln and said, oh, and this is Billy, and then I started, reading the history, talking about Tunstall getting murdered and the Murphy Dolan thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, this was in the Young Guns movie, and because to me, I just kind of thought Young Guns movies were just entertaining westerns. I didn't know that they put a lot. Now, don't be wrong, there's a lot of Hollywoodized storytelling in it, and between the Young Guns 1 and 2, timelines are a little muddy, and people and characters aren't. Some are the same, some aren't, and things like that, but it's kind of neat because then you go to Lincoln and you see different aspects and you're like, oh, because for me, it was like, oh, I remember the movie with the end of the movie where they were by the house and this is the location where that took place. And this is the site where Tunstall was shot down. And I remember that in the movie and you see all that. And to me, that was cool to put a location and a place to those movies. And so for me, that's why I got enamored. And then I came here and I go and read, and I really have read all that stuff. And cause it's kind of my bag. I get into that kind of stuff. If people let me, I'm not good to go sightseeing with stuff like this because some people kind of rush through it. And then there's me waiting entirely too long at one of the displays because I got something I'm reading and got into. I'm one of those people. And I'm telling you, if you do that there, you learn so much about this state. It's just, it's a really cool thing. But anyway.